Sketch is inevitable. Can't avoid him. Don't avoid him. Let the algorithm take you. Keep doing your thing, Sketch. Welcome back to After Hours. After Hours, welcome back, YouTube. I want to kind of touch on the man, the myth, the legend, Sketch. He kind of struck a chord that I can very much relate to. It just put me in a headspace that I hadn't thought about, hadn't been in, haven't really, taken the time to look back and see where I was and where I am, and a specific moment that I'll dive into. A little Sketch therapy, I will say it is. But yeah, Sketch, I mean, if you're on YouTube, if you're on TikTok, probably even bigger. Sketch he's been kind of in the scene for the last year. Used to be a real estate agent, lives down in Houston, Texas, and just kind of got into streaming. Streams Madden, streams Rainbow Six Siege, I believe. But I really started seeing him on my algorithm when it was Sketch and Jinxie. And I didn't know who Jinxie was either at the time. And I also avoided clicking because I didn't want it to overload my algorithm. Like, I knew I'd heard about him and I saw like little excerpts of the algorithm trying to give him to me. And I didn't want to touch it because I didn't want everything to just be Sketch and Jinxie. I ended up doing it one day. I don't know if it was out of boredom or what. It was the best thing I've done in weeks, months, maybe. I get why he's so big. I get why people love him for, his quick come up within the last year. I think he started streaming a year, maybe 2 years ago. The genuineness that he brings to the table when he streams. There's no real big like brand deals or anything yet, which he kind of speaks on. Just straight up, I want to have fun, just taking it one day at a time, which is a great way to look about life, a great way to do it. And I know at some point it turns into a business, and it gets just, it can become toxic in that direction. You're taking away the fun part out of it. You're having to do the business stuff. You're having to do different excerpts for whoever your brand deals are, your sponsors, whatever. And it takes away from that energy of just like, I'm here to have fun. And we love that. Love that energy. So I really dove in once I started watching him on this past weekend, Theo Vaughn's podcast. Sketch went on. It was so good. I'm actually going to play you a clip from it. That is what I'll get into, my kind of where it all began for me too. And I didn't realize it until I watched this clip.
When I started, I just wanted to take, I had like small tics or whatever. I'd do this with my fingers when I'm excited or whatever. But it was more of like taking off the barriers, and that's where the hand motions was like it was like getting that energy out and like letting it fly. But there was a time last year and I just like had a prayer where I was like, I want to be happy, I want to travel, and I want to meet people. And God answered me like crazy. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Wow. And you really were praying that?
Yeah. No, he humbled me for sure.
That's powerful, huh?
Yeah, no. Power in prayer.
Yeah.
Put your eyes on the Lord, brother.
Yeah. Huh? Hey, I'm looking for the Lord. I always am, you know? And I'll say I'm looking for the Lord, and somebody told me, hey, the Lord ain't lost.
Yeah.
Me,
Yeah, true that, brother. Follow the light.
That clip struck a chord with me. And here's why. Back in 2017, I had just graduated college in 2015. Came back to Nashville and ended up working at a restaurant. Emily's sister, Amy, was working there. Her husband, Caleb, was also working there. So I had an in to be able to just come back, and I wasn't going to use my degree. I didn't end up wanting to go to PT school. School was just like too much. I overloaded my plate just to try to graduate in 4 years so I could have the Hope Scholarship, not have to pay a lot more when I didn't even know what I was going to do. I had no idea what I wanted to do. Here is my story. So I start, restaurant is Bricks Cafe. It's in Franklin, Brentwood, 2 locations, kind of a mom and pop place. That's actually where I met Josh. If you watch the channel, you know Josh. I ended up leaving at one point. I needed a career type job. So I ended up going to this place, IT company, Blue Equinox was the name of it. I absolutely hated it. I mean, I was in IT sales, was going through this like ramp up class. It just wasn't for me. Job was, 100 minimum cold calls in a week. That's a lot of rejection. At 21, 22, when I haven't got a lot of rejection in my life. I learned a lot of lessons. I definitely picked up a lot of what I want, where I want to be, how I want to go after it. No quick money. That was a big teaching point, learning moment for me. I'm at this job, and about a year in, I end up like getting the ability to go salary. I had sold enough, and I just had, now I have certain quotas I gotta hit every month, but they're unrealistic. People drag you on. The sales cycle takes forever. I've always, every day, felt like I was failing, and it put me in a terrible headspace. I mean, probably one of the worst headspaces I've been in my life to date. I can't explain it, but I remember at one point going to lunch with my dad and telling him, hey, like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. They just offered me salary. I took it, and I'm not doing them any services. Like, I'm not trying hard. I've realized about myself, like, I really have to love what I'm involved in to give it my best foot forward. And if I do love it, you're gonna get top level me. I wasn't feeling it in this company, so it was one of those with my dad where he was like, you make sure you're not just upset, struggling. Don't quit now. You just gotten this point and you have the opportunity, whatever. And then it just kind of like sat on me for another week or two, and I was like, I don't find satisfaction. So about that time, we're summer of 2017. So I go to this bachelor party, come back, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm done with this company. I'm headed back to the restaurant. So that's what I did. Amidst stopping at Blue Equinox, like, it was the next week that I actually walked in and was like, hey, like, it's not for me. I just up and left. It was Friday through Sunday bachelor party. I met with a buddy that was going a day before the bachelor party was starting, and we just went out in the woods and camped. During this time, I'm in crisis mode. I'm like, I'm about to quit this. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll probably go back into the restaurant. I just need kind of just to get away, think and pray and all of the things. Me and this guy go, we camp. At the time, I have the book Wild at Heart by John Eldridge. This book, very Christian based. It's about like you're a reflection of God, like God created man, and there's man have these certain instincts, all things. It was honestly exactly what I needed to hear at the time, because I didn't know what I wanted in life. So that's why this sketch video relates so hardcore to me, because I fully remember having that same type prayer. I don't know what I want to do, but I want to travel, I want to meet people, and I want to be happy. And spent an entire 24 hours just in prayer, in silence, reading this book. At the time, I'm very like, I'm very spiritual, religious. Like I'm like praying to God, and I'm not saying I'm not a believer in God now. It's just my thought about what God is or who God is has definitely evolved over the years. I very much like I had a breaking point moment where I was like, this is it. Like I really want to be happy, and I need something. Bachelor party goes on. We leave there. I quit this job, go back to the restaurant. 2 months later, I'm at another bachelor party, ironically enough. And one of my mutual friends that was on this bachelor party was hearing about what I was doing. I was like, yeah, I was doing IT sales, and I had a good potential opportunity there, but I just didn't like it. So I'm back in the restaurant, and like, I'm just kind of open for whatever. And I'm just trying to day by day be as happy as I can. And that became my mission. My overall goal is I want to be happy today, the next day, the next day. About a month after that was when I get a text from this guy, and he's like, hey, my father-in-law has this company, new venture that they're starting, and they need people to go help. You're going to work in an Amazon plant, and it's probably going to be 10 to 12 hours a day. You're going to be making hourly, and then overtime is time and a half. So I kind of did the calculations, the numbers, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty good money, and I get to travel. Let's do it. So I'm at the restaurant telling Josh, like, hey, got this opportunity and they need hands, and if you want to come with, like, let's go do it. Let's just, we'll go for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and then we'll come back. Still got the restaurant if we need it. He said, yeah, sounds good. Let's do it. Thus began the journey to where we are now. 7 years later, this booming of a company, positions we're in, the knowledge we gained, the places we've been. I've been all over the world, met so many different people, and it all stemmed from that one moment of, I don't know what the fuck to do. God, please help. I want to travel. I want to meet people, and I want to be happy. And that's exactly what happened to Sketch. And like him talking about that on the Theo Vaughn this past weekend podcast was so like, it's like I had that memory buried inside of me, and then I heard him talk about it, and it all of a sudden was rejuvenated. I'm very much like looking back on what life was before and where I'm at now, and like blown away by the opportunities that have come from that. I mean, there's power in prayer. There's power in prayer, wanting happiness or having a desire for self-satisfaction. And, you know, a lot of it could just be finding that breaking point and then kind of speaking it into existence. Like, hey, God, or whoever, throw me a bone. Like, I'm dying here. I'm not happy. And then you just kind of get to that point where there's no further, you're not descending anymore. And you just take that leap of faith and go after anything. I mean, it was terrifying. I remember going to the airport for this first trip, damn near shitting my pants about how nervous I was, because I'd never traveled for work before. About to get on a plane, have no idea what I'm doing. Just took a leap of faith. And now, everyone I've met, everywhere I've been, has literally changed the course of my life drastically. And I'm very excited for more of that. For more saying yes to things that even are too scary to even think about saying yes to. Sketch is a legend, and honestly, like, let the algorithm take you, dude. He's genuine, he's funny, he's just himself. I'm going to touch on what's to come. We'll do a whole nother video for it, but I've got this new documentary with my company that I've been working on that they're going to drop at the CEO address. It is so dope. It was so cool to be on the other side of the mic, interviewing people, seeing their personalities, seeing them talk about how much they love this company, and editing it all together, and then getting my my brother-in-law involved. He's a professional wedding videographer, super cool dude. I'm about to spend a week with him at St. George, not this coming week, but the following. You will see him on After Hours, so I'm going to bring all my stuff. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to catch up on, and I'm very excited for that opportunity to do that. So yeah, be expecting that. We got new After Hours. It's gonna be a beach vibe, and it's gonna be dope. I'm so excited to bring that. Yeah, if you haven't already, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. But most importantly, I'm just thankful for you guys and for everyone that I've met in the last 7-8 years, and everyone that has drastically changed my life. So with that, thanks for tuning in. I love you. I'm proud of you. Peace.